Hey guys, welcome back to my 3-month update since my hair transplant in Turkey. Now, this video's gone out a little bit late. I'm technically 3 months and 10 days, I think, after I had the operation. I did try and record a video last week, and my toddler kept trying to get in the way, and so I thought I'd re-record it properly. So I'll show you how it looks at the moment. So this is obviously from the front, and hopefully it's in focus, but it's still very thin on top, but it's certainly getting there. And then that's from the side. And then that's from the other side, and that's from the back. Now, what's quite cool is I've been able to give myself my first proper haircut. Now, I've done this by myself. I've cut my hair very unorthodoxly over the last probably 5 or 6 years, and it looks all right. For the most part, keeps it very neat and tidy, which is good. One thing I was really curious about was when I cut my hair, I typically wear my hair pretty short on the backs and the sides. So I will go to a grade 0 or grade 1. What people say, particularly with FUE hair transplants, is that you will get scarring. The little dots you will see on the sides and on the back. And the recommendation often is to keep your hair a little bit longer, and you won't necessarily see the scarring so much. It was something I was curious about because, of course, I wear my hair short and I want to see what it looks like. And so it's the first time today that I've cut it as short as this, where it is, I mean, that's grade 0 going into a grade 1. And I'll have to take some photos and have a proper look myself. But from looking at it initially, and I've only just cut my hair, so it will be a little bit red. It is a little bit red, I think, at the back, but it looks good. I think it looks good. It doesn't look overly obvious that I've had any treatment done. With the hairline, I had a lot of single grafts. So in the grafts, they tell you how many types of grafts you have. So you can have single grafts, which is just 1, double, 2, triple, 3, quadruple, 4, or even 5. You know, so there's a range of different follicles you can have in each graft. I had a lot of singles in mine. A lot of people say that a good clinic will need to use single grafts in the hairline in order for it to be natural and not have that sort of pluggy look. And that was one thing I was quite conscious about. And I don't know if you can see that there's a lot of single grafts being used, and it makes the hairline a lot more natural, I think. One thing I would say is there is still the redness, which is going slowly, but I thought personally it would have gone by now, and it hasn't. And I was quite careful, particularly in the early days. I didn't go out in the sun, I didn't do any of that. So I mean, it's not really a massive problem, and in fairness, it's kind of acts a bit like if you were to have SMP, which are like the little tattoo dots that you can micro pigmentation on your scalp. So it kind of, in some ways, it probably makes it look a little bit fuller, having some kind of discoloration there. But I would like it, hopefully, to fade over the next couple of months. I'll put a few pictures up to hopefully show how it looks. And you can see some scarring. I think that's fairly obvious if you look up close. But I think from the average person, they wouldn't tell that I'd had a hair transplant. Now, in the front, which is where I was predominantly losing my hair, that's come through really quick. for 3 months, considering, I'll put a photo here of how I looked 3 months ago on the train up and in the airport when I was heading for my hair transplant. And from that to now, I'm super pleased. I couldn't be happier with how it's gone so far. I am still taking finasteride to stabilise my hair loss. I know a lot of people have side effects from that. I've been taking it now since Christmas Eve, and it's not caused me any issues whatsoever. So I take a relatively low dose. So I take 1 milligram, but instead of taking it every day, I only take it on a Monday and a Wednesday and a Friday. And for me, even over the last couple of months, I've not noticed any more hair loss. I've not noticed any excess shedding. In fact, I've barely noticed any shedding at all, which is really good, because particularly now when I'm sort of playing with my hair a little bit more, normally in the past I'll do that and on my hands would be bits of hair, obviously more than I would like, and so I haven't had any of that since I've been on finasteride, which is really, really good. I know there's some other side effects and I've not experienced any of those, to be honest. So I know it's still early days, but so far I've been quite pleased. It's interesting even today, where I realise in some strange way I've become less precious about my hair, which is quite ironic considering I've gone and had a hair transplant. But an example would be today I cut my hair, and as I was fading it in, I cut it too short. I put the wrong guard on, and I panicked quite early on and thought, oh, I thought this is awful. And in the past I'd be really annoyed that I've cut my hair too short, and I suppose partly because I needed it to look good on the sides and the back, because it was getting thinner on top, and I almost want to kind of compensate for that. I thought, well, if I've got a nice haircut, then it would take away from the fact a little bit that I was losing my hair, or am losing my hair. What was nice today was that even though I'd made a mistake, even the front end as it is at the moment looks so much better than it did even 3 months ago, that I had this almost calmness come over that this will actually grow back. I know hair grows anyway, but the bits that weren't growing before are now growing back, which is really, really positive. But it's been, I think the hardest thing throughout the journey so far is just having patience. I've been taking a selfie every day. To see the progress, every time I go past a mirror, I'm always checking to see, has any new hair grown? Is it any thicker? And because I check so regularly, I forget that actually there is progress, but not as immediate as perhaps I want. And so sometimes I think the best advice I could give for anybody who's just had a hair transplant is do the things that you need to do to take care of it, particularly in the early days. The first 10 days, making sure that you sleep upright, making sure that you're careful with the scabs, etc., not going out in sunlight. But then you really need to just set it and forget it, and the results will come. And I think what's quite exciting now at 3 months is that the shedding has stopped. It's certainly not going to get any worse, and really it's only upwards from here, which is really, really good. So I'm excited to see where things are going to go over the next few months. I'm more interested in different hairstyles than I used to be. It was all, the hairstyles I would look at before would all be about concealing the thinness or concealing the going bald. Whereas now I'm looking at other ones that I didn't think I could before, and I'm excited to try them out hopefully in a few months. So I know it's still very early days, and particularly if you're looking at the top part, it is still very thin. There's no doubt about that. And again, you know, hair transplant isn't just to replace hair, it's to give the illusion of density. And so even from the front, the way in which it frames my face is so much better, I think, than how I was looking before. And it kind of overflows into other areas of your life. I feel that now something that I haven't liked about myself for a long time is being sorted, and it encourages me to do other things. It encourages me to look after my body a little bit more, or do a bit of fitness, or eat a bit healthier. So I think it can have a positive chain reaction as well. So I think that's about it really. I just wanted to give a bit of an update. For me as well as for you, it'll be good to look back at these videos and see how much change there's been. If anyone's got any questions or comments, then leave them below, or find me on social media, whatever. I'm in a couple of the Facebook hair loss groups, and that's good as well, because it's good to get other people's experience and seeing how they're doing, and you know, some of the issues that they have which you can relate to. So it's a good community. Yeah, I hope the videos help, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen over the next month. Talk to you soon.